Hello, good morning. Myself, Professor Kiran Lakam. So, as we started the computer numerical control chapter, in session 1, we have discussed about the introduction part. Now, we will go for the session 2. Okay, so what all the contents we have in session 2? First, let us have a look. So, as usual, the syllabus is the contents. What all we discussed today is classification of CNC machines, methods of defining coordinate systems, and access presentation in CNC machines. Okay, let us go on discussing the points one by one. So first one is classification of CNC machines. Okay, so how all we classify the CNC machines is based on four types. That is, first one based on the control loops, based on the motion type, based on the number of axes, based on the power supply. So based on these four types, we are going for classifying CNC machines. Okay, let us go for studying each one by one in detail. Okay, let us take the first one, that is based on control loops. Okay, so based on control loops, again we are going for dividing it as open loop and closed loop. Okay, we are classifying again it as open loop and closed loop. So let us see what we mean by open loop. So when we have open loop control system, okay, so open loop control system CNC machine. Okay, so here what happens, there will be the signals, whatever we are going to give, what are the commands we are going to give to the machine will be only in one way. Okay, that is nothing but the programmed instructions are fed into the controller through an input device. It is being fed to the controller through an input device. It may be a taping punch, or it may be a keyboard with which we enter the data. So like this, okay, the programmed instructions are given to the controller. So these instructions are then converted to electrical pulses by the controller and sent to the servo amplifier to energize the servo motors. Okay, so the program is being read by the controller. According to that, the commands will be given to the servo motors or whatever the output devices. Okay, the primary drawback of the open loop here, so those the commands will be given to the machines. That's it. That is what we call it as open loop. The main problem here, what it is here is, the primary drawback of the open loop system is that there is no feedback system to check whether the program position and velocity has been achieved. So we can't get the feedback of whatever the instructions we are given, whether it is achieved or not. Here in open loop system, it is just a one way. We give the commands, the controller decodes that one, and it gives the signals to the machines, to the actuators. So those actuators will get actuated and do the thing. That's it. So we won't get any feedback here. It is just in one way. And few points, the open loop system is generally used in point to point systems where accuracy requirement is not critical. Okay, because we are not getting any feedback whether the work done is or not, whether work is done or not. So commonly where high accuracy is not required, there we go for open loop systems. Okay, and very few continuous path systems can utilize open loop system. Mostly it is for point to point positioning systems itself. That is what we have, the open loop. Next comes the closed loop control system. So here just it is exactly same as the open loop. Here one thing is added is the feedback signal. We get the feedbacks whether the work given commands are accurately working or not, or actuated or not, and it is the machine is exactly working with the program or not. Okay, we have a comparator. Input is given to the comparator. Commonly it will not compare at the first when the commands are given. DAC will be there, data acquisition, that one is there. Then DC servo motors will be there, then gears which will get actuated, and this is, and it will work. Here there sensors will be there which will see what work is going on. It will take the readings and it will give the feedback to the comparator will compare the input given and the actual work going on, the data given by the sensors, and it will compare, and if any changes is needed, again that will be given further to the DAC, and that will be again fed it to the servo motors, and again it in turn gears will be actuated. So like this we have a closed loop control system. here to work on the for the working of the CNC machines. This just we have few points. We'll have a look on that. The closed loop system has a feedback subsystem to monitor the actual output and correct any discrepancy from the programmed input. These systems use position and velocity feedback. It will see the position also and velocity of the work going, I mean the spindle or the work table in which what speed it is going. So those things will be taken as the feedback. Okay, it could be and the feedback could be either analog or digital, anyone. Got it? So closed loop systems are very powerful and accurate because they are capable of monitoring operating conditions through feedback systems and automatically compensating for any variations in real time. Okay, so these are very capable, it is a capable system compared to open loop system. So here what happens is the operating conditions are very we can get the feedback, okay, of the operating conditions, and automatically we can the system itself cope ups for any changes needed, and the accurate work will be done here. Okay, so that is what we have, the closed loop control system. Next comes the second type of classification, that is based on motion type, how motion take place in the CNC machine. So point to point control systems and continuous path or contouring systems. Okay, let us see one by one here again. So point to point control system, here you can see in the diagram, we are the motion is being defined by points for single point. Okay, we are not concentrating on the path in which it is traveling. Okay, we are concentrated only on the point to where it travels. For example, if I take a tool path, the tool from one point to another point, we give the points. Okay, that is point to point control is one where accurate positional control is required only to place the machine slides in fixed positions, used in drilling, boring and tapping machines. Okay, so feed rates need not to be programmed. So what happens here is when it is moving from one point to another point, in what path it travels, we are not bothered about that one. So whether it is reaching to the second point or not, only that much, it is there at position or not, only that is taken care here. Okay, so such type of system is used for is used in drilling, boring, tapping, etc. Okay, so that is what we have. Well, that is what we have, the point to point control system. So next comes the continuous or path or contouring systems. This is where it is used in milling operations and all, where the path in which it travels, that matters for us. Okay, the contouring system generates the continuously controlled motion of the tool and workpiece along different coordinate axes. Okay, so here the path in which it travels, that is also the taken care, that is very important for us in a continuous path or controlling systems. Next comes the classification, third type of classification, that is classification based on the number of axes. Okay, so we have 2 and 3 axis CNC machines and 4 and 5 axis CNC machines. So commonly we have seen 2 and 3, that is very commonly it is been used. 4 and 5 in the particular operations we are going to use that one. Okay, let us discuss each one by one. Classification based on number of axes. So 2 and 3 axis CNC machines, you can see here in the diagrams we have 2 and 3 axis. So these CNC lathes, commonly CNC lathes will be coming under 2 axis machines, where rotary it is being moved horizontal, in a horizontal plane it is being moved. You can observe here x axis and z axis, only 2 axis motions are being required in the lathe. Okay, that is nothing but depth of cut, that is what it is been given in x axis, you can observe here. Okay, in x axis the depth of cut is been given, and in z axis the turning path, okay, it will be moving on. So that is what we have, only 2 axes in the lathes. So there will be 2 axes along with the motion takes place. The saddle will be moving longitudinally on the bed, that is z axis, and the cross slide moves transversely on the saddle, that is x-axis. In 3-axis machines there will be one more axis perpendicular to the above 2 axis. So we have in a plane x-axis and z-axis. In a 3-axis machine, that is commonly we can see here, so a milling machine and all. So there one more axis, that is y-axis, is being added in the machine, that is x, y, z axis. You can see here in the horizontal plane we have x-axis and y-axis, and vertical up and down we have z-axis column. Okay, that is what we have the 3-axis machines. Okay, this is how the 2 and 3-axis CNC machines are being operated. So another classification based on number of axes is 4 and 5 axis CNC machines. So when I consider 4 axes, here in the diagram you can see, when I consider 4 axes, we have x, y, z, x horizontal motion, z horizontal motion, y up and down motion, and one more motion is being added, that is b, is rotary motion of the table, work table. Okay, so that one axis, that is vertical, it is been rotated on the vertical axis. So that axis is being added as one more axis, that is 4 total axis will be there in a machine. So we have 5 axis CNC machines also, where again you can see here in the in this diagram. So where you can see x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, basically 3 axes are there. Then a and b, a is nothing but work table rotary axis, and b is the main spindle rotation axis. So you can that is what we have, 5 axis milling center, that is includes 3 x, y, z axis, the a axis which is rotary tilting of the spindle, of the of the spindle, and the b is which we can carry the rotary index table. Okay, so that is what we have, the 5 axis. So next comes another classification, that is classification based on the power supply. Okay, so what type of power supply we give to the machines, that is based on electric, hydraulic and pneumatic, 3 types of classifications we are going. Electric actuators, okay, we use commonly servo motors and all as electrical actuators. That is commonly the manpower unit refers to a device which transforms some form of energy, that is mechanical power, which we using for driving slides, saddles. That is what we have, the actuators commonly, that is what we call it as actuators. And these actuators are being run by electric power, hydraulic power and pneumatic power. Okay, so in electric we are going for using servo motors, and hydraulic again we have motors here, hydraulic motors, pneumatic motors we have. So based on the power supply we classify the CNC machines as electric, hydraulic and pneumatic type of CNC machines. So last is methods of defining a coordinate. Okay, second point what we need to discuss here in the in this session. So that is methods of defining coordinate system in CNC machines. Commonly we know this one from long back itself, what all the types of coordinate systems we have. We have basically 2 types of coordinate systems. Among that, one is absolute coordinate system. Okay, in Cartesian coordinate geometry system, using absolute measurement, each point is always specified using same zero established for a given coordinate system. That is nothing but we are going for defining the coordinates with respect to the origin. Okay, we are, that is what we call it as absolute coordinate system. We have an example here with which it will be much more clear for you. So you can see here point 1, which is the origin, p1 origin. You can see that is p1, it is origin. So it is origin means the coordinate of that one is 0 0. Next point 2, you can observe it is on the y axis. So it is on y axis means x is 0 and y is 4, that is 0 4 is the coordinate of p2. Then when it comes for p3, it is 2 and 4. From x axis it is 2 and from y axis it is 4. So p3 you can, so the coordinates are 2 4. So that is with respect to origin. We are defining all the points with respect to origin. That is what we call it as absolute coordinate system. So next comes the incremental coordinate system, where it is been given, it is been defined the point, the coordinates are been defined with respect to the previous point. Okay, not to the origin, with respect to the previous coordinate points. Okay, that is what we call it as incremental coordinate systems. Okay, here you can observe the same thing again. Origin is 0 0, p2 it is with respect to the previous point is nothing but origin, that is 0 4. P3 you can see 2 0, that is x axis it is been incremented as 2, but y axis it is not been incremented, so it is 0. So 2 0, that is nothing but with respect to the p2 point we are going for defining point p3. So that is what we have, the incremental coordinate system. These are the two types of coordinate systems based on which based on which the CNC machines are been classified. Next comes the axis presentation in the CNC machines. So how all we present the axis, that is very important for us to write the programs and all. Okay, so CNC lathe or CNC turner, how the axes are there, we have only two axes, that is x and z axis, which are both are in horizontal plane. So you can see x axis towards the operator, if we want the tool path, okay, the tool post to move out of the away from the work part, that is plus in plus axis, x axis, plus we give in positive point, towards the work part x minus, and the turning the feed, okay, the feed what we are giving, if we are giving the feed towards the jaw, it is z minus, away from the jaw it is z plus. Okay, so that is what we have the coordinate systems for a CNC lathe, how it is been defined. So when we have a CNC vertical milling machine, again it changes. So along the spindle up and down movement will be in z axis, that is to move up we have z plus, to move down we have z minus. Then to move front and back we have x axis, to come front x plus, to move back x minus, and to move sideways we have y axis. Okay, that is what we call y. And to y axis rotary motion, if we want to tilting with respect to y axis, we have b plus or minus, with respect to x axis a plus or minus, with respect to z minus z, it is c plus or minus. Okay, the rotary motions. So like this we are going for defining the axis how all in the CNC vertical milling machine. Next comes the third one, that is CNC horizontal milling machine. Okay, so here the machine access for three horizontal CNC machines, where the spindle is in horizontal position. Again the axis of the spindle is been defined as z axis, and the vertical axis is y axis, and the horizontal sideways is x axis. So this is how it is being defined for CNC horizontal milling machine. You can just keep in mind how it is being defined for horizontal CNC machines and how it is being defined for vertical CNC machines. Okay? Because along the spindle always it is z axis. So that's it what we have, how we are going for defining based on the three things mainly. Again let us recall, that is uh, in the first slide, that is what we had. Okay, so classification of CNC machines, methods of defining coordinate systems, and axis presentation in CNC machines. These are all what we discussed today. Okay, thank you, have a good day.